Hello, 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 and welcome, my Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Truth About Your Twin Flame read for June 2020. Mixing things up, doing things a little different this month with the Twin Flames. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, president of Joining the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and Venus in a Libra sign. Yeah, let's get down to it. That Virgo one I just did, I'm a Virgo sign, that one. It just nearly killed me. The readings are, I didn't want to do the twin flame reads this time around with everything else going on planet Earth. I was like, who cares about your twin flames? I'm single right now, right? They rearranged them. The guides totally gave me a different way of doing this. So if you are new to my channel and not familiar with what a twin flame is, how I define it, there are some links in the description box below. You might want to check out a couple of live chats that I've done, as well as a brilliant video from Matt Kahn, spiritual teacher, Hay House author, YouTuber. Matt Kahn, All for Love is the name of his channel, Matt Kahn, All for Love. Redefining twin flames and soulmates as both soul contracts, but very different. And here's the difference. Soulmate is what you really want. So people who say, I want to meet my twin flame, it's like, no, you don't. You got them all over the place. Trust me. What you want is your soulmate, right? Satisfying, helping each other heal is the foundation, and you have more than one soulmate, and they're not all romantic, sexual. My mother and I have a soulmate contract. Twin flame, you teach each other how to heal yourselves. I know, it sounds good, but if you look at it, it's like they can't give you what you want, they give you what you need. On a soul level, so that you grow. They are tumultuous, they are often traumatic, but they are transforming. So the point of these readings, in any form, it doesn't matter which of the twin flames they are in your life, romantic or otherwise, they're all helping you become the mate of your own soul, a better soulmate. So if you haven't had the romantic soulmate experience yet, where you help each other heal and it's symbiotic and sympathetic and simpatico and fabulous, then that's what twin flames are for. They help you get there. They teach you to become your own soulmate and become a better soulmate. So the three questions we're looking at here is, how does this twin flame transform me? How is it? How does it transform me? How can I work with it? Like, what if it's not a lover? What if we're looking at a family member? Right? What if we're looking at a boss or a coworker or someone literally that you are contracted to be with, not just in a soul way, but in some sort of, literal physical 3D world way, right? How can I work with it? How can I make it work? And the third one is, I think, the one we all want the answer to. How is this twin flame making me a better soulmate? Like, for the soulmate that I'm then scripted to be with as a result. In other words, you don't go through twin flames unless you're headed towards soulmate. See what I mean? Helpful. So much better. And as you heal, all of us heal. So that's the other part of it. So this is learning how to heal yourself. Cool, cool. Focus on your breath. I will do the same. We're not doing divine feminine, divine masculine this time. We're putting one side down, will be the Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. The other will be the twin. So this way, the cross watcher, you're the twin, unless, of course, you share placement with the Libra. Cool, cool. We good? You with me? Doesn't matter. Breathe. After that Virgo one, I'm ready. Like, that one shook me. So let's do this. I want to see. Because it could be a totally different twin flame contract too. Breathe. We're going to start with Caroline Mace archetype cards. All the decks that I read are in the description box below. Thank you so much, my guides. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity. What is the perfect archetype card to demonstrate the Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this twin flame contract for June 2020? What is their most dominant archetype? Being alchemized from lead to gold, from shadow to light in this twin flame, which is what it's for. Learning how to do that very alchemy within themselves, ourselves. So please, the dominant archetype for us, timeless or in a twin flame contract of ours for June 2020. Can't wait to see. Can you? The Networker. Well, that's very air sign of us, isn't it? The shadow attribute. Oh, there it is. The Networker, just so you can see the card. The shadow attribute conveys information only for personal gain, which means sometimes they withhold it. Spreads fear and falsehood. Now, I'm a networker, but I tend to do more of the light side of it because it's been part of my profession since before the internet, networking, the light attribute enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. And I do that as a spiritual teacher too. I'm always giving people information and trying to connect people. Empathy, you think I'm an empath. So though I can relate to the networker as well. It's not one I usually associate with my Libra placement, but maybe it could be. So I'll keep that in mind. A lovely archetype, but we're not going to just identify the twin right away. Oh, no, no, no. We're going to get you 3 cards for a timeline, past, present, future, of this particular twin flame contract before we even see who the twin might be. Cool? So this way you get a placement. You get to really find your balance. Breathe. Yeah, the god and the goddess working with me on this one are Aphrodite and Eros, mother and son. There's a mother-son job on this one. They're giving me the info. My goddesses, please, 1 card in clarity. Give me 3. Past, present, future, simple timeline, but we're going to start with the past, where this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign has been in this twin flame contract, June 2020, or timeless, where they are now in the contract, where they are headed in the contract. Yes, my goddess. Aphrodite is my matron this year. Every year they choose me differently. So coming from a place of criticism. Now, criticism, you know, we think of it as that verbal thing of picking people apart, but this is the 8 of swords, 8 of blades in this deck, but the 8 of swords can very much be that narrow point of view. Although I, as a Virgo, think of criticism in terms of critical thinking, and it's about the detail, right? So there's definitely been some introspection going on here for the Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this twin flame, looking at the detail, really examining is the word I'm getting, and in a way, blindfolded and bound. But sometimes when you're trying to get to the heart of the matter, you need to do that. You need to shut out some externals. You need to get down. You gotta get to the heart of the matter. You have to turn inward and sometimes be blindfolded and bound to do that. I know it's a different take on that one, but if that's where you're coming from, here's the Virgo card for where you are right now. So it's about your health, it's about your occupation, but occupation is more about what you are occupied with in this, like, are you preoccupied thinking about, particularly because we've got this air card here and we are talking Libra energy. Are you overthinking? Are you preoccupied with this twin flame contract, this relationship, to the point where it is affecting your health? Anything you are occupied with is going to affect your health. That's the connection between the two, right? Occupied with cigarettes, going to affect your breathing, right? Occupied with hatha yoga, but essentially breath yoga, that's going to that's going to affect your health, right? So occupation and health are interconnected. Virgo is that filtration process of sorting all of that out, what serves, big word for Virgo, and what doesn't. So real opportunity here for you to heal yourself, but really keep an eye on what are you. And I would say this, particularly in the Rider-Waite, they're showing me the Rider-Waite version, you know, blindfolded and bound. It's a preoccupation, critical focus. Where you headed? A lot of Virgin energy here. This is the High Priestess, Isis, the goddess, Egyptian goddess Isis. Just came up in the Virgo read too. That's why I like pulling the cards one at a time instead of, you know, the ones that hit my hand or the ones supposed to hit my hand. Here's the thing about the High Priestess card. It is a mystery card. There are secrets involved, but it also is so connected with the divine and intuition and the maiden goddess in terms of knowing that you don't know, but yet feeling something's going on, right? So in terms of what lay ahead for you, can you accept that the divine is working through you without you knowing how or where it's going to take you? Because that's how it works. That's how it works. I mean, it's... And I'll put this in a biblical sense. It's not like Moses had read the book before he acted it out, right? It's like he had to take the journey, right? 40 years in the desert, almost Pharaoh the whole 9 yards, right? It wasn't like he's like, well, I mean, on a soul level, maybe we get to look at the contract before we sign up, but do you know what I'm saying? There is a mystical part of this. Are you willing to take this journey as a networker, really then saying that there is something here that's for you to share? This is the creative family of archetypes the networker is in. So there is something here about unity, and definitely in terms of a twin flame contract, does this need to be sexual romantic? There's nothing here that screams that right now. But in terms of a twin flame contract, there is something here that could feel a little bit more of the professional side of things too. Do you know what I'm saying? In terms of the lines of communication that extend from you and return to you. Let's now have a look-see-duck-see. Let's look at the twin. Caroline Mace archetype cards. Let's go. Breathe. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Who's the twin in this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for June 2020 or timeless? We've got the networker here with a very interesting and mysterious past, present, future. There are a lot of virgin energy. So what's going on? Who is the twin here, please, my collective pantheons? And we've got the wounded child. That right there says to me this is probably not romantic sexual, although the child archetype is one that everyone has. Not everyone has the wounded child necessarily, but because everybody was a child. So understand that somebody with a wounded child archetype, regardless of age, can really be possessed by the pain of childhood out of nowhere, usually because it has not been alchemized. The example, the shadow attribute, blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. So if you have somebody who doesn't forgive, sounds like a twin flame, but they're learning how to in the relationship, right? Keep that in mind, because the light attribute, what they are working towards on a soul level in this contract that you share, awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. So compassion and service there, and we've got that service vibe over here as well, opens the learning path of forgiveness. So, I mean, forgiveness really is the key here. It's inner child work. It's understanding that everybody's coming from a place of pain, that the more they stuff it back, that's why it's called the shadow attribute. That stuff you don't want to look at, you kind of push it behind you. That's how come adults can act so childish and do things that a sane, rational adult would never do. It's because they have ignored that child, which becomes part of their shadow, and then they become possessed by their shadow or their demon side. Do you see what I'm saying? It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. So, sorry, took a little trip into shadow work there for a moment, but hey, it's twin flame. That's sort of like the domain of shadow work. Trust me on that one. So what we're going to do is do the same for the twin that we did for you, but we're going to use the Mythic Tarot, past, present, future. Let's see what's going. See, already is, now that you know it's wounded child, it's just not like, it's like, oh, okay. You know, it's not like it's the Don Juan or the, you know, the vampire archetype. There's a vampire archetype card in that deck that never comes out. It's so interesting considering it's such a codependent archetype. Let's ask the gods. Simple timeline. Breathe. My gods, please take me by the hand. 3 cards, simple timeline for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract here. Who's the twin? About the twin in this contract, please. Where has he been? He. So pardon my pronoun. Where has the twin been? Which sort of rhymes. In this Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract, June 2020 or timeless. Where are they now? In the contract, where are they headed? In the contract was pretty easy, pretty smooth. the Hermit. All right, so chances are these two have not been in communication or connection with each other with people on lockdown. It's not a shock. I've seen this theme repeated so many times over the past 3 months that, I was like, why am I doing these readings? But for the inner work, they're helpful. I get that now. Introspection, needed a time out, time to themselves. This is Kronos, literally means time. So Kronos, the father of the Olympians, supposed to be in Tartarus, but here he is as the Hermit. Well, I guess that's a hermitage, Tartarus, if you're not with your other brother and sister Titans. Teen Titans go. The Hermit card here just definitely has that vibe of it, that because it is also the Virgo card, that there is a similarity here, perhaps, of the two of them really doing this introspection thing. Because you got, yeah. Twinsies. Where are they now? Six of Wands, having some victories. Now, this is in the relationship itself, so if they're not in communication, then maybe this is a personal thing that the wounded child is overcoming, some sort of victory within themselves, within their lives, moving forward in some way, but that will in some way affect, even if they're not in communication with each other, because particularly with the High Priestess here, I'm not feeling like there's any immediate communication going on here, or at least at the time of this reading. But there's definitely something, a golden fleece is one. Now, it's only a 6. It's not all the way home at the 10 of Wands, but certainly more than halfway through. Interesting. The Ace of Wands, which was the Ace of Flames in the Virgo reading. Oh, damn it. Well, here's the thing. This is Zeus. This is Zeus, the Ace of Flames. Very phallic card. The new quest, the new journey, the new impulse, the new dictate from on high. Do this. A new beginning comes for this wounded child archetype. It's just, this was the Ace of Flame. Different deck over on this side was the future card of the Virgo for the one before that. Shook me. On Venus and Libra. So let's keep going. Let's do that. That sounds like a good idea. Because don't you want to know, what's the problem, Mark? It's a twin flame contract. What's the problem? And then don't you want to know, what's the solution? Right? What's the remedy? That's what we're going to do with the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack here, baby, Love Pack. Because love, baby, that's where it's at. We're going to ask the Ascended Masters of Twin Flame contracts, one each. I will place them on opposite sides, but it's for the entire... Now that we've got the timelines done, everything else is about the contract itself, right? Nice deep breath. My Ascended Masters, please. One card in clarity. What's the problem here in this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus on Twin Flame contract for June 2020? Timeless overall in this relationship, whatever it is that they're ready to know, whether it's the Libra watching or the Cross Watcher Twin Flame. What's going on here? What is the problem? Put a fine point on it. You're kidding me. I can't. It's the villain. The same card as from the Virgo reading. Jeez, you saw me. My eyes were closed. Oh, God. Go watch the Virgo reading. Can't believe that's there. I will comment on that. I already commented on it in the Virgo reading. I can't believe the villain card twice in a row. That just never happens. It's ridiculous. You saw my eyes were closed. Go back, look. Comment. His eyes were closed. Can't believe this. This is why I check your other signs. You hear it all the time on YouTube. Check your other signs. Like, check your other signs. They give you the same thing, a completely different structure of symbolism, but then not completely different. Oy. So, the other half of the deck, the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, are the luck, the healing, and the grace suits. Let's see what remedies this villain. I know what it was the last time. If that card comes out, that's it. I'm done. I'll finish the read. Breathe. My Ascended Masters of Twin Flame contracts, please, one card in clarity, a piece of luck, a piece of grace, or a piece of healing for this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus on Twin Flame contract for June 2020 or Timeless. The problem is the villain. What is the remedy or the solution? Uh-oh. sensuality. Now, sensuality need not immediately point to sexuality. Like I said, this need not be a romantic sexual thing. The version it's playing out in my life it is, but sensuality literally means the interaction of the five senses. What you see, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch, what you hear, as well as if you want to go into the sixth sense as well. I see dead people. I don't see dead people, thankfully. I see people who have never fully incarnated, which is a different story altogether. So this card of sensuality here, that's what is going to help here. Let's just leave that on the table. I want to get the last three cards of this on the table because they are all oracular based. The Healing with the Angels Oracle. I want to know, who is the angel extending their hands to both twins saying, here, let me help you heal this. Breathe. Because twin flame, they're not supposed to be able to heal it together. They're going to be able to heal it on your own unless it's one of those bizarre twin flames that alchemize into soulmate. My angels, please, one card in clarity for the Libra Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for June 2020 or timeless involving this Libra networker with this twin wounded child archetype, please. What is the angel that walks with them? Dreams. Interesting. Dual meaning to that card for me always. One is, of course, pay attention to your dreams. I don't dream that much for Pisces moon, but look what I do for a living. My subconscious gets plenty of a workout throughout the day. Plenty of opportunity to express itself. But also the dreams in terms of, is this something that is real or is it a dream, right? Is an illusion as well as it can be. Is this the dream of your heart? Like, does this, for both of them, is this part of achieving your heart's desires in terms of your life dreams, your goals, your aspirations? The things that we really, really want that we're scheduled to do, that are going to happen, but whenever in the way that we expected to, when or where we wanted to, right? Never. apparently never, not if the divine has anything to say about it, and considering it has something to say about everything. Speaking of which, let's ask the higher selves of all involved here. A nice deep breath. Higher selves. Keeping my eye on that sensuality card. Higher selves of all involved. Fifth dimension and above, please. One card in clarity. A whisper of love from the Whisper of Love Oracle. For both the networker and the wounded child in this Libra Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for June 2020 or timeless, please. No beating around the bush now. Consider your foundation. You're being asked to look at how committed you are to love. Yeah. Again, does not necessarily scream romantic sexual, but there definitely is talking about some kind of longer term commitment here. Either one, and then again, that's going to play itself out differently for different scenarios here, but either has already been one, you're separated, and you're going to come together to consider your foundation, or this is relatively new, particularly with all that Virgin energy there, and the Hermit, which is also Virgin energy, at least Virgo energy. That you're considering your foundation right now about how committed you are to love, not just to this relationship, but to learning to love yourself, learning to heal yourself, learning to do relationships for the purposes of which they were intended, which is to teach us, to heal us, to spark and inspire and coax our growth forward. Not the best word, but we'll go with it. Breathe. Last card down, Healing Mantra deck, Matt Kahn. Then I will pop up a picture of the whole thing and we'll see what else comes to be. Nice deep breath. My Ascended Masters of Twin Flame Contracts, please, the perfect healing mantra for the Libra Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. In this Twin Flame contract for June 2020 or timeless, involving the Libra as the networker and the twin as the wounded child, please, what is their perfect healing mantra? Please just leave it, last card in my hand. so that I don't have to ask. There it is. Grounding my energy. Grounding my energy. It is safe to be in my body. Now, I know that seems like, what? What does that have to do with anything? I know this one. I will read it to you. It is safe to be in my body. It's grounding your energy. Being more stable, very Virgo in that sense. Oh, opened right to the page. It is safe to be in my body. When your energy is grounded, you are no longer wrestling, right? Like wrestling with the pain of the past or chasing after potential future outcomes, which feels like that's why you've been in separation with this thing, trying to get over whatever has gone on already, if you've already danced. And deciding whether or not you want to dance again. You dare to demonstrate your very best attributes and qualities, no matter how you are perceived or received by others. In other words, you get to be grounded in your body and make your decisions in alignment with your highest truth and your integrity, no matter how others see you. That's being grounded. With your energy grounded, your mind can relax as your body becomes a more enjoyable environment to inhabit. This mantra is ideal for replacing compulsive thoughts, which I get. Twin flames lead themselves to that, and we are looking at air signs here. Releasing addictive behavior and finding stability. It is safe to be in my body. It is safe to be in my body, which does. That's the one then that plugs into the sensuality card. That's how the solution to this is getting into your body. Let's just pop up the whole picture. We'll see what else the guides give me, shall we? Nice deep breath. Magic clap. As we've got the Libra here as the networker archetype in the shadow, conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. So keep in mind, if you're not sharing information in order for personal gain, that's the same thing. It's called a sin of omission. There's nothing wrong with having secrets and mysteries, but there's also a thing about not telling people the truth. Light attribute enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. So we've got a natural communication thing going on here for this particular Libra archetype, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. And a lot of thought has gone into this. That Nine of Blades, as I was saying, with this grounding my energy thing, right? For overthinking, it's safe to be in my body. Then perhaps to help you cope with that, if that is an ongoing thing. And like I said, who doesn't obsess and overthink about twin flame contracts in general, even if they're not romantic, sexual? It can be your child, your parent, your brother, your sister, whoever. But then with this Virgo card here right now, this really does kind of give me the vibe here that not that you're building walls, but your boundaries are up, and that's a good thing. That you're protecting your own innocence, that you're being virginal in that sense, that self-care, really occupying yourself with things of a healthier nature, that, you know, this is where you are in the contract, more of this self-love. And remember, that's the point of a twin flame contract. Answering the question, how is this twin flame making me a better soulmate? It's making you a better mate of your soul because you are doing, or at least occupying yourself with your own healing, which leads you into a deeper mystery here with the High Priestess in that card of where you're headed with this. To take the journey, to take the mystery, to follow your intuition, but know that it's not in your hands. It's definitely the divine unfolding, and you are promised here with this mantra, it is safe to be in my body. And by the way, that pertains to even the cross watcher wounded child who would be watching these. The center lane cards here are shared. So let's look at the kid, right? The wounded child, the twin here, the shadow attribute blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. In other words, what they say is, I can't help it. That's the way I was raised. My parents were like that, and that's why I'm then. There's nothing I can do about it. It's like, no, right? Resists moving on through forgiveness. Well, they don't want to forgive, therefore they can't move on and blame everything on the past. Not saying that that's an easy thing to do, but that is definitely a good depiction of the shadow of the wounded child, of which I've had 10,000 clients with it, and who doesn't have wounds in their childhood. The light attribute, though, awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. And I think that that's really key there, too. It's not, I've mastered the path of forgiveness. I'm opening the learning path of forgiveness. And honestly, with that Hermit card in the past there, I feel like that's begun here. That there is introspection here, that this is an honest, innocent person underneath the pain of whatever might have gone on here in this contract. We do have the Villain card there, not just because it's on the side of the twin doesn't mean that either one of them could be the villain. I'll get there in a minute. But definitely there is a victory at hand right now, perhaps in the personal life of the twin, but one that in some way influences the relationship. I do not get that there's any communication between these two, but that doesn't mean that the entanglement has stopped. Otherwise, they wouldn't be presenting themselves, the quantum entanglement wouldn't be presenting itself in a reading, particularly a twin flame reading. And with that Ace of Wands, which is a new quest, a new beginning, being called forward into something new, either completely different from this twin flame contract or a renewal, a readdressing of this. And of course, that would make sense with the problem is someone was a villain. Maybe both were a villain, but at least one of them acted villainous. And so there's unfinished business here. Something about sensuality, too, which, can mean all sorts of different things here. And we'll get to that grounding my energy card. But the thing is about the villain, everybody is villainous every now and again, or at least it's really who's born a hero, right? It's like you have to go through your pain. That's what a villain is someone who doesn't know they're possessed by pain and therefore is taken over and do things that their innocence would ordinarily never do. So the healing angel of dreams here connected with sensuality is to really say, well, then what are your dreams? What is it that your heart yearns for? Are you just so identified either side with this being impossible that you just take what you can get and really be the villain, do it to them before they can do it to you? Or by working with the angel of dreams, will you consider your foundation here? The card, the whisper of love from the higher self. You're being asked to look at how committed you are to love. Not how committed you are necessarily to this relationship, but how committed are you to love? And particularly if you're the wounded child there, how committed are you to opening the path of forgiveness? While the mantra, that it doesn't matter who's watching this, the Libra or the cross watcher, it is safe to be in my body. It is safe to be in my body is just going to give you the moment by moment stability that you need to particularly allow yourself to enjoy the sensuality in your life, get in touch with your dreams, and consider your foundation. That's how you can work this contract. That's how you can get how it's making you a better soulmate, so that even if the both of you go your separate ways, and yes, I'm feeling that's more in the romantic sexual context. Obviously, if this is parent and child, time apart is different than going your separate ways. But that by grounding your energy, by really getting that it's safe to be in your body, that you will consider your foundation for love in general and know exactly what to do moving forward. For the networker here, for the Libra themselves, following the divine guidance that may come moment by moment by moment, that high priestess being used like a piece on a chessboard, and for the wounded child twin here, on this new spark, either the return of this relationship or something new that calls them forward into the world. I still can't believe that villain card twice in a row. But there you have it. And there you have it, my Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Remember with that villain card there that it's very easy to villainize someone and then end up becoming the villain. Libra, justice, scales, and all that jazz. So may the Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their twin flame contracts this June 2020 or timeless, that they may consider their foundations, rediscover their dreams, deal with this villainous vibe in their life in this contract, knowing it is safe to be in their bodies as their energies are grounded, as they learn to be the best soulmates that they can be for themselves, as they grow, heal, become the best that they can be, and fulfill their roles in the divine plan for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you for watching again. Please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment in the comment section below. Help other people see this read if it helped you by doing so. Otherwise, wishing you the very best and the very blessed for the rest of the month. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.